If you're new to the channel, we have spent the last year and a half renovating this old abandoned farmhouse here in the French Alps. We've documented the whole process along the way, but hope you enjoy today's episode. It's been so long since the last video, we've had tons of stuff going on, so today we are going to catch up and I'm going to give you a little update and merge the two videos that I had planned into this one. So let's go over there and see how my tape and jointing went on. Today's Tuesday. I'm here, I'm going to start doing the tape and jointing. I've watched a few videos, I think it's going to be fine. I've got all my stuff here ready, so let's go. This is the pre-mixed stuff already. I didn't want to buy the powdered stuff. It's just, I know it's a lot more expensive usually, but it's just easier to buy the pre-mix, isn't it? Pop the lid back on and then let's see how we get on. So when I watched some videos, it said the side swipe was better than anything, so we'll go with a side swipe. It makes it look so easy. First one though, isn't it? So if anyone's watching this video and they're like a professional at this, they're gonna be like, what on earth is she doing? The saving grace with this side is there's going to be a media wall here, so if this one isn't perfect before we get used to it, then it's not so bad because it is going to get more covered up. So right, let's grab some tape out. So it's got a crease. If you can see, it's got like a slight crease. It's got a slight crease in the middle. Let's just square it off the tape because that's what everyone says for you to do. So you want a nice square end on the tape. Oh yeah, looking professional. Bad when it's so freaking long. If I cut that off, then I can reposition it if needed. Giving you a full no frills version here. This is actually the first go, so it's not like I've done this a few times and you know I've got good at it and then I'm showing you. This is actually the raw version, guys. We are cooking on gas. I think I have to leave this then. Maybe, is it 24, 48 hours before I can go in with the you know, the thicker layer. From what I understand, you do this one, then you do a thicker one and then an even thicker one over the top, but you have to leave so much time, I think, in between. So this is where I've got up to so far. I'm definitely getting better. This is the latest one that I've done and it is quite clean. It's just these edges that I need to be careful of where I've left quite a bit of a raised edge on there, so wait for them to dry, give them a quick sanding. Filled in all the nail holes that I can do so far. Some of them are protruding a little bit, so they need a couple more turns before I can fill them in. I did manage to get up there as well, which was a little bit, but it was okay. So I'm going to do this one now in the middle and then hopefully maybe do that one and then start to tidy up because it's nearly school run time, so, and I've got a lot of cleaning to do. I'm definitely a messy worker, but yeah, so far so good. Where I got up to, if you remember in the last video, we had a big piece of scaffolding all the way up there and I did run out of time before the floor guys needed to come and spray the mousse down. So I've done where you can see a first lot and also I managed to cover in the screw holes over on that side, but then I ran out of time and we had to take the scaffolding down. So but what is delaying me from carrying on is this floor. I'll go on to that in a second, but I thought it was an absolute nightmare and I thought I'd done a really rubbish job, but it turned out it wasn't too bad, so I need to come back and do the next layer and then another thicker one, but I think it's going to be all right. And then I'm going to talk to you about paint choices in a minute and see what you think. So after the guys came initially to put the spray mousse down, this is what it looks like. It's just like a spray foam insulation, and it's really funny because every time we've been walking on this plastic we keep giving each other electric shocks. So this is the plastic that they put down over the top, held in by these clips and these protection corners, and this is a grid that helps you when you're laying out your underfloor heating, so that's really helpful. Now I've got a big time-lapse video of all of these pipeworks going down, which I will share on the screen in a minute. So we're using a wet underfloor heating system that will be connected up to a heat pump, and here are a couple of drawings for the floor plans for each of the zones on each of the levels.
Let's get my ball patch.
I was just going to say it was shining a bit
ball
then.
patch handle there.
Bird's eye view.
We've done all of this floor and all of downstairs as well, and then as I've said in previous videos, the top floor is just going to be electric matting. But yeah, let's take a look over this side. So as you can see, we've left out zones for the kitchen island and then also a clear section for in the pantry, because we don't need to warm those up. There's some leftover ones that we had out there. We had to put them out there to when the sun was shining, to warm up the plastic piping, which made it easier when we were laying them on this floor. But it only looks super satisfying. It's just so straight and in line and visually pleasing on the eye. And then you come round into this section here. This is, I don't know, do they call it a manifold? I can't remember. But we've got one of these up here, and then we've also got one downstairs as well. You can see all the rest of the wiring. The VMC unit, that's all in and finished. And you can see, I've spoken about before, we've got a box there for a floor vent, and then there's one over there. So the next job is the shap to go down on the floor, which is just like a finishing off compound, a screed. But they were supposed to come on the 9th, and it's now the 16th, and they were supposed to come tomorrow again, but now they're not coming. So it's going to be next week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. I don't know, but until this is down, I can't get back in to do this and other jobs as well. Staircase, let's talk about the staircase. I've had 3 different people come out to quote for a staircase to go in here, and I'll show you on screen now the type of staircase that we are looking to get installed. So it is metal structure, so I've had 3 fabricators in, and then we're going to have wooden treads on there as well. But it's not super simple in terms of when we get past this first floor for this one, because here there will be a wall, and then here obviously we've got a wall, but the problem is they've got nothing to fully tie it into. So they're coming up with some ideas, and hopefully it will work. But we're going to have glass balustrade across here, and then obviously that side is going to be a wall, but then up here will be a wall, but then the rest of this will be finished off in glass as well, as I showed in the previous video. But I'll pop one on the screen now just in case you didn't see it. But yeah, so we'll come up from this side to here, up to here, and then up, and then you'll come back on here, hopefully come up, round, and then up onto this floor as well. So all of that bit down there we've left clear with no pipe work for them to secure it into the floor, but I'll tell you about this as well in a minute. But yeah, so things are progressing, but it's obviously quite slow because of the hold-ups with the floor and getting that finished. So it's a little bit frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about it, so we kind of just have to roll with it. I'm going to show you some paint choices now. Let's have a look. So I nipped down and got a swatch card and had a look at some paint samples in one of the shops not too far away, about half an hour away. And for this really big wall, I was wanting to go quite dark and almost anthracite, like the windows and doors, but I wasn't sure. So I'll put up on screen the 3 colours that I narrowed it down to and asked on my Instagram what everybody preferred. And these 2 came up tops. There was another one called Downpipe, which was more like a grey, like a dark grey colour. So we've got Hague Blue, and then we've also got, is it Inchyra Blue, I think? Yeah, so quite different. This one's a lot lighter than this one, and what I did was swatch out some on some paper, so you can see there's a massive difference. So these are the 2 choices that I painted onto a bit of just white print paper. I didn't want to paint it on this bit. I did do some mock-ups on ChatGPT and asked it to show me a visual of both colours, and I'll pop the difference on the screen now. So I would love to know your thoughts. Which one do you like best? I know you can't really see much from here. They look kind of a bit similar, but they are super different. And I do love this lighter greeny, more blue. I think that left-hand side colour just looks super nice against the warmth colour of the wood of the beams and roof. So just need to finish off the tape and jointing and then put an undercoat on and somehow get all the way up there to paint this full wall. And then I'll show you all of the underfloor heating downstairs. Let's flip you around. So just covering all of the floor in this first bedroom in tiers and some of the bathroom, the ensuite. We've shuttered off the bit for the shower tray. And then again, in Honey and Summer's room, fully covered that one. And then same again in here. And some shuttering off for that shower tray, and then coming into the hallway, WC, and then boot room. I think it pretty much covers the whole of the boot room and the tech room. Let's go in there. There's a whole host of craziness going on these ceilings, but that's all sorted and clipped up as well now. And then another manifold there and all the pipe work for the water, and that is where we will get the heat pump in there. And we still need to update this board, which actually is getting moved and is going to go in this section here because it'll fit quite nicely in there and it'll be out of the way. This door still needs finishing off. There's loads of little bits that still need finishing off, joinery bits around windows, etc. But yeah, you can see in this bathroom, we've got the shuttering off there for the shower tray, and then the underfloor heating. And there it goes fully around the hallway. And yeah, and we've got a little section there that is missing, but the bed is going there, so that's absolutely fine. And then what else? I think what else exciting is being going on, will be exciting once I get these devis in for the staircase and we can get something booked in. Everybody's saying they don't have any availability till at least October, November. So we are looking to move in around that time, but what our plan is just to live downstairs, make a makeshift kitchen if needs be, and yeah, we'll get a staircase when we can get a staircase. Beggars cannot be choosers at this point in time because it's been a real mission trying to figure this out. But we had a pocket door delivered the other day, and that is for the ensuite bathroom. So that one, we just ordered one for now just to see how that fits and works, and then also some flooring. Let me show you this. So I nipped down to the local Lalliard to check out some flooring. I did really like this one, but it was kind of unfinished, really raw and rough, so I wanted something a little bit smoother. So I came across this one, which was just perfect. So we ordered a pack. Actually, funny story, embarrassing story actually, it got delivered and I emailed the lady at the store and said, "You've delivered me the wrong floor," because that's how it's packaged up on each side, and that's way too light. And she's like, "Oh, you've got to take it out, that's the back of it." So I'm like, "Oh, that's embarrassing." But yeah, we won't talk about that. So we've gone for this. So this is I think it says an engineered oak floor. This can be actually glued down, or it can be used with a small mat underneath. So because we're getting the floor finished with the screed, like the compound, the finishing compound, it will be really nice and flat, and it's perfect for then putting down this type of flooring and not having to use the underlay underneath. So we can literally glue this down, which is perfect. And yeah, so let's get a couple of these pieces out and I'll lay them down against the hallway with the cladding and see what you think. See if you think it's a nice match. The other option was some dark grey kind of virgin on anthracite large tiles, but everywhere is getting this flooring apart from bathrooms, and yeah, but even upstairs is getting this one too. But yeah, I did wonder whether or not against the cladding the tiles might look nice, but tiles are just cold, and I like this. So let's have a look. Actually, I'm not going to open up the full pack because this pack's going to have to go somewhere else, because everything has to be out when the guys come to lay it down, and we have no room left at the inn. Literally everything is bursting to the seams with storage wise things. So I might have to end up taking that home in the car or something, and I don't want to bust it all open. So I've got one piece out, so it's kind of not really giving you the full effect, but you'll get the gist. Let's have a look. So there is one piece down, sorry guys, but yeah, I don't think it's a bad match. It doesn't need to match perfectly, but let's just tilt it up a little. The wall is slightly darker. I don't think it looks bad. I think it's quite a nice match. It does look different in different lights. Let's have a look from this side. But yeah, I think once all of it is down, obviously the floor's going to be raised a little bit as well, and with a nice runner or something on the hallway, and it's got a really nice finish. It is slightly textured, but not rough like to hurt your feet, but it actually is really nice. So I think this is a winner, and we'll probably just go for this. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is it a yay or a nay? And then literally once the floor's down, it's all systems go, because we can finish all the putting up the plasterboards on these walls and get painting. We've got a plasterer coming in to do the walls in the bedrooms, and then we can get them painted. But the ceilings, I think they're getting plasterboarded, but then I think we are going to tape and joint them ones. It's literally just wherever the light shines down in these rooms on the walls, they're getting plastered and then painted. So I'm going to have to look for paint choices as well for the bedrooms, but I think I'm just going to keep it pretty much neutral and go with accessories and things to pop a bit of colour in there. But yeah, all of them walls are getting plastered, which is great. And then that's pretty much it. We can just crack on, like I said, and yeah, finish off these walls, and then start ordering like toilets and shower trays and everything else that we need. We have given up the lease on the rent for our apartment that we're in at the minute, and we have to be out by Christmas, so we're hoping to be in here for like September wise, and we're just going to rough it, I think, and just do it as and when we can get stuff done. So we'll probably just do this small WC first and our bedroom in there, and if it becomes a problem, then at least we've got just 2 toilets and a bathroom to use. But yeah, hopefully I can come back to you on the next video in not as long a time as I've left it this time, with some news regarding the staircase, and also tell you that the floor is now down and we can crack on. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been so long again, and if there is anything else that you want us to cover or talk about, then just let us know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another one. Bye for now.